Hi Flosstube, it's Lynn, the Canadian Stitcher, back for a weekly update and a couple stories to tell. So hello and welcome to my new subscribers and to anybody else who's returning. Let me know where you are in the world still. I find it really interesting to hear where everybody's from. So I did get quite a few this week. I'll just read them off just because I find it interesting and you might too. So I got Julie in the UK, Juanita in Japan, Linda in Michigan, USA, Debbie Hamilton Debbie from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, Peggy's from Brisbane, Australia, Galina from Pennsylvania, Zobanite from Norfolk, UK, Patricia, from Oklahoma City, Ocam from, I don't know if I can pronounce this, Kalgoorlie, Australia, Elise from Embrun, Ontario. And interesting, she said she wants to do a color conversion of the Canadian Beauty also, but she doesn't know where to start. So I have figured mine out. I sat with my pattern and stared at it and thought about it and figured out how I'm going to do it. So I am going to convert her dress down to, it's going to be 3 shades of, it's going to be white, an ecru, and then a beige. So that you can still see all the folds in the dress. And then I'm definitely going to do those maple leaves behind her head in a red. And I'm going to be dyeing my own fabric, and I'm hoping that it's going to turn out kind of a mossy green. I think that'll be interesting. Do it on a green color, and that'll make the white of the dress and the animals and yeah, everything will really pop on that. So questions and comments. I got a lot of compliments on the Angel of Summer, so thank you very much for that. Yeah, she's coming along because I'm working on her pretty regularly. Peggy McChrystal asked if I do cross-country stitching with my heights. And the answer to that is yes. I tried parking and I think I got 5 threads parked and I knew that was not for me. That was not going to be something that I wanted to do. I couldn't be able to, sorry, there's something underneath my table. It's bothering my foot. It's a UPS label. Yeah, I tried parking and I didn't like it. I knew that that was just going to confuse me and it's not for me. For the people who do it, I admire you greatly. I also tried gridding. I think I gridded out like 10 by 10 and I just didn't see the need for it. I just count. So when I'm starting, I always start my full coverage projects on the bottom left corner. In that bottom left corner, I look for the most predominant symbol and I highlight that one with yellow. And I stitch those ones and then I highlight them out once they're stitched with pink, and then I just build it out from that corner, picking the color of the page that I think is most predominant, and then what's next most predominant, and like that. And then you also know that I feather over into the next page just so there isn't that straight line where the page finishes, because that's what I did on my first full coverage, and there was a definite line where the page ended and my stitches must be tighter on the ending stitch than they are on the next starting one. So I don't do parking. I just cross country and I count and I count and I recount, and I'm always checking. So when I'm placing the next stitch, I always go, yeah, is that right? If I go down 3 and over 4, that's right, it's in the right spot. It just takes a couple seconds, and then that way I can usually find if mistakes are found really quickly if you're checking and double checking lots. So yeah. And then Okan asked if I could do a video about dyeing fabric. So I've only dyed one piece of fabric I'll show you when I show you my progress. So I'm no expert at it. I just followed the directions on the dye label. I used way less than what they called for. I put the salt in the water, dissolved the salt in the water. I put the RIT dye in sort of in a pattern, and I didn't stir it. And then I crumpled up my fabric really tight, and I pushed it into the dye bath, and I just left it sit there. And it turned out, I think it turned out okay. Everybody's telling me it looks fantastic, looks great, but I'm hiding the back of it where there's like one whole splotch that's just of the dye. But anyway, I'm willing to try it again. I might film it just to show you what technique I used, and then I can show you the finished product, but I'm no expert, and there are people out there that do this for a living, so I would search around and try to find somebody who dyes fabric regularly and is really, really proficient at it, because I'm just a beginner. So this week's progress, the Angel of Summer. I need something behind this. Let's try this. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so I've been working on this part of her dress, filling in this detail here. I filled in down these lines here on the sides of the dress and a bit more down at the bottom here. On Tuesday, so I said I was going to be working on this one a little bit every day. My plan was to work on a big part of the dress, a little bit of the detail in the garland on her dress, another part of the dress, a little bit on the garland. On Tuesday, I was stitching on her, and I realized that I had made a very big mistake. A very stupid mistake, actually. I misread a symbol. And so I put little gray, there was little gray stitches all in through here, and it didn't look right. But Monday evening after work, I wasn't getting it. I thought, well, that doesn't look right, but it's what the pattern says to do. No, it's the wrong symbol, but they're supposed to be beads. So once I figured that, I was still working on it. And then once I figured out that I had made that mistake, I ripped that all out. So, and then re-highlighted them as to put in beads. And then where was I? It was over in here somewhere, and I realized I was off by one. So I ripped out a whole bunch of stitches. This is still Tuesday evening. And then I noticed that I was off on the next column over. I was off by one. And so I very gently placed her down onto the coffee table. That's a lie. I threw it. I was so frustrated with having made 3 mistakes in one day and then having to rip them all, I actually pitched it onto the table. I was very, very frustrated. And I sent a message to Tina and was like, I can't do the angel anymore this week. So I put her on ice. I put her on, icy timeout till Saturday morning when my brain was clear. I didn't have any stress coming home from work. I sat down, I figured out where the mistake was, I corrected it, and now I'm going along with her. So what I'm doing now is I'm working, like I said, I just filled in kind of these details on the dress here, and then coming down here, and then working on the bottom of the dress. And then I might fill in this garland once I fill in more of this, so I can sort of start at one end and go across, because it's all similar colors in there. So yeah, and I won't have to stop and start so many times, or so much counting. So don't throw your cross stitch, because it might get damaged. I knew that there was nothing poking up or sticking up on the coffee table that was going to damage it, but I was just like, temper. The goose, I was backstitching. My Christmas goose. So I did all the backstitching on the head and neck, and where am I? I was backstitching all of the green in the wreath here. So what I was doing is I did 2 parts on the angel's dress and then 3 strands of backstitching. So 1 whole strand and then start another one, and did that until 3 strands were done, and then I put this one off to the side. because it's focus on finishes, but it's focus on mini finishes. I also picked up my cross country stitching magazine, Cranberries. I couldn't find the actual magazine, so I need to declutter and organize this room, because I pulled it out because somebody had asked me what edition it was from. So I had pulled it out to get the edition number, and I don't know where I put it. But this is my progress. No back stitching done on this one yet. I leave all the back stitching. For something like this, I leave all the back stitching till the end. So what did I do? I completed this band, these two bands in here, and I worked on this little cabinet. So I did one color of the cabinet, the lighter color, and then I put that one away. And then this morning when I picked it up, again, I did the other color on this little cabinet. So that's kind of how I'm working on multiple pieces all at the same time. Work it a little bit on the angel, a little bit on the goose, a little bit on the cranberries. And that wasn't bothering me. It's very organized on my coffee table. I have each little separate project very well organized on the table. So I just put that one down, pick up the next one. And then I'm also working on my Alessandra Adelaide Needleworks Albera de San Valentino. This is the conversion that I'm doing on this one. I'm converting it into something else. I do intend on stitching this as it's charted. I think I told you that in my Staples story of how they wouldn't make extra copies for me, but I wanted to stitch it twice. So, but this is, I'm not ready to reveal yet what I'm going to be doing this. I got some more done on it last night, and I laid it on the table and started to kind of play with some of the things that I'm going to be doing with it, but not sure yet. So the bottom of the tree is done. There's a beautiful little heart in the trunk, and I finished that much of the branches. Not too much further to go on this one because it's just two more branches in the middle, and I think two more branches out on the right side. So I might actually be able to finish this one this week, or finish the tree part of this one this week. And that was the fabric that I had hand-dyed myself with grit dye, and for that one I'm using color 433 from DMC. And I wanted to talk about who I'm watching on Flosstube. So I go through my subscriber list and I check each of the A's, the B's, and the C's now to see if they have anything new posted, because I'm all caught up on the ones that I'm watching. And so I did add a new one, Creatively Yours. Her name is Debbie. I just started watching some of hers, and now I'm in the D's, so I'm watching Darling Bluebell, Mika. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so terrible at pronouncing names. It's one of my worst things. Anyway, she's just so wonderful. She's so bubbly and cheerful and smiley, and she tells some funny stories, and she talks about her life and her getting back to work and things. And she does absolutely gorgeous cross stitch. Blue is her favorite color, and she's got beautiful, beautiful projects that she's working on. And another one I just started watching yesterday, I think it was, D Stitcher, and her name is Denise. And she says that she lives in northern Alberta, and she showed outside her window. Looks like she lives on a farm. So I'm going to message her and see where she lives in Alberta, because I'm from Alberta. All right, so those three, those are some new ones that I found. Excuse this hair. This is me unplugged, so just let my hair dry naturally, and this is what it does when it's super humid. Kind of spirals up a bit. Plans for this week coming up. I'm not going to be working. I'm going to be cross-stitching, among other things, but I've got another 9 days off, so a week of vacation. 4 days of vacation, and then my X1 day, so off for 9 days. So I'm going to continue with the angel, 2 parts on the dress each day. 3 strands of back stitching on the goose, 1 section on the cranberries, working on the tree branches of the Alessandra Adelaide, and then It's back to a full coverage. So I will be doing, going back to my lynx cat. So I have completed one whole page. Excuse me. Page 1 is completed. Page 2 is almost completed. And I will be working on page 3, which is feathered over a little bit. Yeah. This one does have some bigger areas of solid colors, but because it's fur, obviously. So where am I on this? Let me show you. So here's the background. That's the trees and that. This part here, that little pointy black piece that you can see there is this part of the lynx right here. Part of the collar coming down here. And then this is stitching into the fur. So it's a lot of gray, dark, medium, light gray, and a bluish gray, greenish gray. Yeah, I picked the max colors on this. And it is fur, so it's not like, I mean, it's an actual picture of it. It's a wildlife picture, so it's fur. So it's going to have to be a lot of different colors and lots of different shades to give it that kind of texture. So it's a little slower going than when you have a good solid block of color. Of course, when I get to this part here, although it's snow, there are several different colors in there, but that'll be a bigger chunk to be able to knock out that way. So the bottom part goes across, it goes across 6 pages, and I've done 1, I'm almost done 2, so 3, and then there's 4 and 5, and then 6 is just like a little tiny partial page, so really 5 pages across, 4 up. So this is one that I was hoping to focus on more this year and get as much done on that one as I can too, because it is a smaller page number. Total is only 24 pages, but those little partial pages I don't really even count, so really 20 pages. And my full coverage, the birds that I did, was 16 pages, and I was able to finish that one in a year. So yeah, we'll see how far I can get on that one. Friday is the first day of summer, which is my favorite day of the year. It is the longest day of the year. The sun comes up before 5 and doesn't set until well after 10 o'clock at night. So probably why I like it, because of all the extra light. So I'm going to be doing the pansy sampler. I looked at it, I thought about dyeing some fabric, maybe a light blue, but there's really light blue butterflies in there. So I don't want to have to do like color conversions on the butterflies and that. I'm just going to do it on white. I think that'll be pretty on white. Yeah, I like that one. So that's going to be, I'm going to kit that one up today, and then I'm going to start on that one on Friday. And I'm going to, I didn't bring the chart up here, but for the Alessandra Adelaide, because I'm just stitching the branches of the tree. So where this flower is here, there's some of the branches is missing. So I need to sit down with the chart, like spread out on the table, and then plot out how I'm going to actually leave that flower out and extend the tree branches up there. And just replot that. And there's somewhere else too where it's interrupted. Oh, here. So I'll just make up myself how to go along and make those branches connected. And then I'm going to sit down with the Canadian Beauty and do her conversion on the chart too. So I need to be able to sit and spread out and in good light and really focus if I'm going to be sitting with paper. I don't want it not crumpled up on my lap sitting on the couch or anything. So yeah. Wednesday is going to be errand day for me, so I'll be doing all my running around on one day, and I'll pick up my RIT dye and see about dyeing that fabric for the Canadian Beauty. Gardening, I put on Instagram last night, I did another floating flower bowl, and I put my pink impatiens in it, and some pansies and some little pops of yellow pansies. And I went out there in the evening. I was out during the day and I was out in the morning and doing a bunch of work in the garden, and it wasn't really bothering me, but I stepped out in the evening to make the new floating flower bowl and got attacked by mosquitoes. Oh my goodness, because we've had so much rain, and then it's hot, and then it's rainy, and it's hot. So the mosquitoes were horrible. I was like, I gotta get back inside as fast as I can. So the garden is doing really, really good though. I have to actually go and cut back on some of the shrubbery and the branches of the trees and stuff, and I have a massive hops climber that's on my fence. That's the leaves on this are probably about that big, so I've been kind of trimming that back. It's just we've had so much rain, and then sunshine is just everything's exploded. I'm going to be working on this room this week. I'm going to do the two rooms together. The craft room where I actually keep all my craft supplies, and this is the room where I keep all of my whips and where I do my filming. So this room shouldn't take long. All of my whips are in like bins, but I just need to tidy them all up, and labels would probably help me be able to identify things, either because there's some things that are similar, some of those dimension golds. Yeah, so I'm going to do the two rooms, decluttering, organizing, and then fully cleaning, like wiping down everything and getting everything really organized. The bracelets this week, they match my dress. So these, of course, are more of mine. When I did the market, I started doing something every week. I was doing a color of the week with the Swarovski crystals. So one week I looked at this dress and I went, I have crystals that exactly match that. I'm going to do this. So this was the color of the week. So I had made bracelets, anklets, earrings. I don't remember if I might have made necklaces too, and just had them sort of on a separate little display with bracelet of the week. This is actually an 8mm, two little 4mm, and a 6mm. You know, keeping it simple. 5 Swarovski bracelets. Last week I talked about my hollow pink nail polish, but I forgot to tell you what the color is. This was I had bought off of Amazon. I was just finding out what holographic nail polish was about, and holographic pink nail polish is my absolute favorite. So this is called Born Pretty Hollow Polish. Like I said, I got it off of Amazon, and this is color 02. I had other ones of these. I think I had purple and I had some blue. I think I've used them all up because there's just these little mini bottles, 6 mils, with a couple, 2-3 applications, and it's used up. And then today's color also matches my dress because the purple dress has got this aqua in it, but I'm not working next week, so I'm doing like crazy bright fingernails. So this is an Orlay FX called Halley's Comet. And I said the wrong name when I said nail, that I got them from a place called I Love Nail Polish. It's actually a Nail Polish Canada is where I bought my nail polishes from, because they have every brand, huge selection. So I'm having a problem on the Hades site. So I know I don't need to buy any more Hades. What am I even doing on the Hades site looking at things? Because I like to look at them. I like to see if there's anything new, anything that's, am I missing something grand? So I go onto the Hades site and I log in, and then I go to charts by artist and I click on the artist and it goes secure connection failed. Try again. And so I try again and it won't load for some reason. I can't get it to load properly. Does anybody else have this problem on the Hades site, and what can I do to fix it? Because I never had this problem before. When I first discovered Hades, and obviously it was probably on Flosstube that I heard about it. I went on there, and before I put anything into, no, I think I put Discovery in my cart right away when I saw it, but before I was gonna send in an order, I needed to see every single thing that was available on that website. I needed to know everything. I needed to see everything that was there. That's my OCD brain. I did. I went through the entire site. It took me probably 2 weeks to go through every single one and look at every single picture that they had. And so I like to just go on there and look, and I have some particular artists that I really like, and I'd like to go see if they have anything that's new, but it just won't load for me. I don't know what the problem is. So if you've had that problem, or you know what it is that's causing that, let me know. So I left this till the end because some people might think this is really weird, but I got a little parcel the one day and I thought, oh, did somebody send me a rack? Random act of kindness. So I look at it, it's shipped to, it's my name. Yeah, it's the right address. And it's from Estonia. And I was like, I didn't, okay, somebody must have sent me something, right? It's a gift from somebody in Estonia. And then I look on the details here at the bottom and it says underwear. So I was like, what? And then on the back, it says goods not fulfilling the conditions laid in Articles 28 and 29 of the Treaty on the Functioning of the European Union, which I have no idea what that means. So I was like, what is this? Like, is this I have no idea. So I open it up. This is what it was. It's a bra, I guess. Look at that. Yeah, that would be the front of the bra, and then this goes around at the back. And it has the actual, like, bra thing, strap. So just as a joke, because I'm like that, I put this on over top. I was wearing like a t-shirt and a hoodie or something, and I put this on over top, and I took a picture of it and texted it to my son and was like, I got a new bra. This is ridiculous. I don't know how this ended up with my address on it and getting shipped to me, but strange. And it wasn't a random act of kindness. Or maybe it was. I don't know. Anyway, that's my adventure of the week. So I hope you all have a good week stitching, get lots done, and enjoy the summer weather. Talk to you later. Bye.